One woman has died and 16 others are injured in Germany after a car was driven into a crowd at a Berlin Pride event. Firefighters in France and Spain are struggling to contain wildfires that have displaced some 270,000 people in evacuation orders. German authorities on Sunday named and issued a wanted notice for a fugitive suspect in the car ramming near Berlin's Pride Festival that left one person dead and injured at least 16 others. Police and prosecutors asked for help in finding the 21-year-old whom they identified as Abdul B. According to initial information, a vehicle drove into the crowd in the Tiergarten Park around 10 p.m. on Saturday, then collided with a tree before the suspect managed to flee. Authorities say several people were stabbed and 3 of those injured remain in a life-threatening condition.
Es ist ein mutmaßlicher Tatverdächtiger. Wir haben weiterhin noch keinerlei Hinweise auf seine konkreten Motivationshintergründe oder auf den genauen Ablauf oder seinen Tatbeitrag als solchen.
The Berlin Pride Parade, one of Europe's largest LGBTQ+ celebrations, was cancelled after the incident. The closing party at the Pride Festival, known as Christopher Street Day, was ongoing nearby at the time of the attack. French authorities say nearly 98,000 hectares have burned in the country this year, a historic record, just as officials in the southwestern region announced evacuation orders for 3 suburbs of the city of Bordeaux. Residents of Lohaillon, Essines, and Mérignac on Saturday were told to leave the area immediately via planned evacuation routes. Some 200,000 people have been evacuated in southwest France in the Gironde and Landes region in the past week. Earlier on Saturday, Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu ordered the armed forces to deploy a military transport aircraft to help combat the fires alongside some 100 firefighters from Paris. Meanwhile, in Spain, a national state of emergency was declared on Friday for the first time, with at least 60,000 people evacuated as fires burn near the capital, Madrid. According to Prime Minister Sanchez, the priority is to, quote, save lives. France and Spain have both requested additional help from other EU countries to cope with the blazes via the bloc's civil protection mechanism.
Former Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán addressed a crowd of supporters on Saturday and declared that his Fidesz party should break from opposition politics and establish a new resistance politics. In his speech, he said the European Union has too much power and that so-called patriots must take over Brussels.
Mindig is azt gondoltuk, hogy Magyarország helye az Európai Unióban van, de az is igaz, hogy az Unió ma rossz politikát visz. Tönkreteszi az európai gazdaságot, és mi mindig fel fogunk szólalni az ellen, hogy Brüsszel elhibázott politikát vigyen. Ezért alapítottuk meg az Európai Patrióták Szövetségét.
Speaking on Peter Magyar's new government, Orbán said there was no longer time for the party to dwell on the election loss and that it must turn its attention to defending Hungary's freedom, which he claimed was under threat. He accused the ruling Tisza party of wanting to build a new authoritarian system, as well as trying to eliminate Fidesz altogether by driving its leaders out of politics. It comes after several senior officials from the former government administration have been placed in pre-trial detention in connection with investigations into the disbursement of public funds. India's Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has announced his resignation following weeks of mass youth-led protests over alleged exam paper leaks and irregularities in the education system. The social media-driven Cockroach Janta party leading the protests said after Pradhan's resignation that all their demands had been met in another round of talks and that they were calling off the protests. Pradhan's resignation marks the first significant concession by Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government to one of the most visible waves of public dissent it has faced in recent years. News of Pradhan's resignation sparked celebrations among the thousands of protesters who have camped at New Delhi's protest site for more than a month.